Hi everyone, the topic of today's class is the verb do. Auxiliary verbs are the verbs be, do, have, and will, when they are followed by another verb, a main verb in a sentence. He is playing tennis. I do not know the score. We have to go now. You will be late. We can use the verb do both as a main verb or an auxiliary verb. I do my laundry twice a week. Here it's being used as a main verb. As an auxiliary verb, we use do in negative sentences and questions, for most verbs in simple present and simple past, except for other auxiliary verbs and modal verbs. For example, affirmative sentence, I want to dance. Here there is no need to use do. In question form, however, do you want to dance? And in a negative sentence, I do not want to dance. Again, I play poker does not require the use of the verb do. But in a question, do you play poker? And in a negative sentence, I do not play poker. It is also necessary in negative and affirmative short answer questions. Do you want to dance? Yes, I do. Do you play poker? No, I don't. Again, other than auxiliary verbs and modal verbs, we need to use do with any questions that start with a WH word. What do you want to buy? When do you cook? Where do you work? How do you celebrate the holidays? For the third person singular, he, she, or it, we use does, not do. When we use does, we no longer change the main verb. This applies to affirmative, negative, short answer sentences, and questions. Helen lives in Paris. Does Helen live in Paris? Yes, she does. Roger likes to drive. Does Roger like to drive? No, he doesn't. So notice that in each of the questions here, the underlined verb, live and like, do not change form. In the simple past, we use did for affirmative sentences and did not or didn't for negative sentences. Helen lived in Paris. Did Helen live in Paris? Yes, she did. Or, no, she didn't. When did Helen live in Paris? So remember that the auxiliary verb do is not necessary in positive sentences. Helen lives in Paris. Roger likes to drive. However, do is also used as a main verb, and the same rules apply as with any other verb. This means it can be used as an auxiliary verb and a main verb in the same sentence. I do my laundry twice a week. Do I do my laundry twice a week? When do I do my laundry? Okay, so let's review what we've just studied. Answer the questions using the pictures as a guide. For example, does he play the violin? No, he plays the guitar. Does she ride the bus? Does she eat pineapples? Does he play tennis? Complete the questions with do or does. For example, does he play cards? Form questions with the following verbs. For example, clean and she can form the question, does she clean? Answer the following questions with a short answer. For example, do you drive? Yes, I do. Write a question using the simple past of do. For example, taking the words lunch, she, Friday, cook, and do. We can form the question, did she cook lunch on Friday? Is the verb do being used as an auxiliary verb or a main verb? And that brings us to the end of today's class. For more information on our one-to-one classes with a native speaking teacher, visit speakeasy1to1.com. Thanks for watching.